Well, Hollywood's dream is John Waldron's nightmare. At least that's what he calls this virtual world made for two. A video game where the players are on the inside looking out.
Now the visor here.
I've got a joystick. I've got a helmet.
That's right. And you just put the helmet on like that.
Right.
And of course you see that you have a gun in your hand, and to fire the gun, you simply press the trigger. And I'll get in and join you.
Okay. Come into my world, John.
Linked by a computer that tracks our individual motions, Waldron and I are now both inside the same electronic world.
There you are.
Hi.
Hello there.
The game board consists of several checkerboard platforms floating in space. The goal, to chase and shoot your opponent.
I've got the gun in my hand here. I hate to do this to you right now, but I missed.
It lobs down. We've made gravity twice what it should be.
You're gone, John. You're history.
As the game proceeds, two prehistoric birds slip into view. If one picks you up by the scruff of your neck, the sense of flying can be all too realistic.
I'm a little worried about that flying pterodactyl at this point. Oh, here comes the bird. Where's that bird?
He's got you. He's got you again.
Ah, he got me from behind. Oh, my God. I think I have to take this helmet off. I'm physically feeling the space here for a second. Oh, my God.
While I was playing the game, it seems virtual reality was playing a trick on my mind. The pictures and sounds around me were all that was necessary to convince me I was walking, flying, and falling.
The visual display at the moment is crude. There are these crude cartoon-like characters. That's not the issue. The fact of the matter is, in virtual reality, there is no limits to what we can do. We can be anywhere, anytime, any place. And it's really, that's the issue. It's total escapism.
Quite a game, or is it? Virtual reality had its roots in flight simulators, and today the military is a major user of the technology. American pilots planned their bombing runs on Iraq across a virtual sky, and tank commanders practiced on a virtual battlefield.
We are now reaching the point where the simulations are so realistic that the line between playing a game or a simulation and actually blowing people up is becoming blurred.
Howard Rheingold has just published the first book on virtual reality. And like all technology, this one, he says, comes complete with a double-edged sword.
There's no way of a soldier in a simulator knowing whether their commanding officer has thrown a switch somewhere and instead of playing a game, they're bombing real people.
For now, any flickering moral doubts about this technology remain hidden by its potential power and promise. Today, VR is still in its infancy, but as computers grow more powerful, the graphics more detailed, and the sensations more human, virtual reality will force us to ask, what is real? It will be up to our children to find the answer.
Jimmy LaJules Bagshore from London, England. Jimmy is a sporting gentleman from the golden age of boxing.
This particular game, Boxer, is a game that what it does is allow two people to literally box each other, and to do so without actually hurting each other.
This is your opportunity of a lifetime. Your chance.
Heavy Metal is an amazing game where up to 4 players can compete against each other in a full virtual reality environment. A computer city, as you can see here. Controlling gigantic robotic walkers, the aim is to knock the stuffing out of anyone you can find.
Wow! What was that about?
You may look silly from the outside, but inside the stereo wraparound visual helmet, the action is amazing. The sensations while playing are very strange. A new kind of out-of-body experience almost. Your eyes tell you you're moving, but your body doesn't.
Hey, Sav, are you behind me or what?
I've done it.
Something. All right, this is it. This is it. I've had enough of this. This is war.
It's quite easy to get carried away. This game has real atmosphere. To play this well, you need the reflexes and scanning abilities of a test pilot.
Wow, man. That was wicked.
Hey, Sav, you're terminated.
Next, we tried our hands at VTOL, the Harrier flight simulator.
You have to put money in. It won't work without money. John. Cheers, put it in.
Once you put your £2 in and fasten yourself into the eject seat, your jet takes off, launching you into virtual airspace.
Oh, I'm in an emergency. I'm going to crash. I'm dead. I've crashed.
Well, this is some sort of landscape. Hills over there, perhaps a lake, that white piece. Turning round. Aha! A room. Let's go and see what happens in there. Some mysterious figures over to my right. That's a door straight ahead. Oh, I'm just about to bump into an aeroplane, so we'll just move around, perhaps go over there to the corner and see what's around this way. Behind me is a window and a mysterious blue figure. There's a table over there, and over my left shoulder, an orange figure. Well, these changing images are being generated by computer in direct response to the movements of my head. I'm actually standing in an invisible electromagnetic field being transmitted from up there. Signals from 3 perpendicular receiving coils and a sensor on the helmet here tell the computer where my head is in that field and which direction my head is pointing in. And the computer then produces the appropriate view. And as you've seen, I can also try and move around objects in this non-existent room. But it doesn't stop at helmets. Electronic gloves and suits have been added to gear worn by virtual realists in California. The computer images can then follow all sorts of body movements and even let you handle virtual objects.
I'm going to try this new switch. See if I can turn on the fan.
You can move around buildings, perhaps before they're actually constructed, just by pointing to the place you want to view from. Even car designers could test drive new models before committing themselves to the real thing. The technique, as we showed on last week's program, could also be used to remotely control a robot, perhaps in space. And in medicine, the bones of this skeleton hand, produced from real body scanning data, can be studied as they follow the movements of the glove. Virtual reality's potential applications are limited only by our imagination. And the technology can even stimulate that when you let it take you into imaginary worlds, like those created by the American programmers. Meanwhile, in Britain, work has been progressing secretly behind closed doors on the first practical application of virtual reality: elaborate video games. This machine promises to fly me through a virtually real environment, as if I was in a vertical takeoff jet. Like before, the helmet allows me to survey the scene. Over to my left is the control tower, and over on the right, a red jet, and that jet is waiting a pilot.
The chance to be a high flyer, well, how can I refuse? Right, if I just put my helmet on, I ought to be able to see where you are, Howard. Right.
Gooey.
Oh, is that you over there in the green plane?
That's me. I'll tell you what, why don't you take off first, and I'll try and join you at about 1,000 feet?
Fine. Right, I'll just get into vertical thrust here, and then up I go.
Okay, I'll try and follow you. Which way are you turning?
Shall I turn to my right?
Okay.
Right, I'm going to head out to sea and see if I can find the aircraft carrier. It'd be quite a challenge to see if either of us could land on it.
Where have you gone now? Oh, and away you go, right, fine. I better try and catch up with you then.
Where are you, Howard?
I'm still over the land. Yes, I'm having a bit of trouble finding you.
Off I go, over the mountains.
I'm going over the sea now.
Yes, I'm just in sight of the sea myself.
Well, let's see if I can see you. Nope.
All this great expanse of blue around me, and suddenly, zooming up towards me, is this aircraft carrier. Oh, I'm crashed. I'm back at the airfield again.
All right, I can see the frigate over there, and hopefully the aircraft carrier is right below me. You can see a tip of it. I'm not sure whether I'm actually on it, but I've got to do it a bit more slowly, otherwise I'm going to ditch in the sea. There's the main bit. Oh, what am am I on? All right! I've landed just on the very edge of the aircraft carrier. I think I must be hanging over the edge. How are you doing, Kate?
I feel pretty ill.